The recent Fergie-time-style victory over Brentford was a rain shower in a drought for Manchester United. However, behind that emotional performance are clouds of disappointment gathering at the theatre, with Bruno Fernandes at the center of disappointed glances. The Portuguese midfielder stood out in the Man United lineup by wearing the captain's armband. He didn't leave any exceptional marks. Instead, his actions caused fans to sigh. On social media, Man United ultras began criticizing their captain, demanding Ten Hag demote Bruno, bring in someone more deserving, and even push the number 8 pillar to the bench. So what happened to our leading devil, Bruno Fernandes? Let's find out in this video. Before we start the video, please take 3 seconds to subscribe to this YouTube channel, helping our team have more motivation to create more quality videos. Remember to ring the bell so you can follow and update many exciting stories about the football world. Bruno Fernandes played a bland match between Man United and Brentford in the recent game. He often lost the ball and hardly left any disruptive passes with high lethality. Bruno Fernandes is becoming increasingly isolated in the midfield control scheme. The Portuguese midfielder has strength in playing transition, suitable for counter-attacking defense, so the Red Devils captain has also been offbeat when the team changes its playstyle. We can see that when the Red Devils control the ball and overwhelm Brentford, Bruno is restrained when facing the opponent's majority defense system. If in quick counter-attack articles, the Portuguese midfielder has more space to distribute passes as desired. But before an underdog opponent playing tight defense like Brentford, the Red Devils captain has few conditions to promote his strengths. Making breakthrough passes through a concrete defensive block has never been Bruno's strength, and ironically, Man United plays more offensively and controls the ability to shine off the Portuguese midfielder, which goes inversely proportional. At Old Trafford yesterday, Bruno still ran a lot, but nearly 7,000 minutes of running had made the Portuguese midfielder no longer himself. Bruno loses connection with satellites like Amrabat, Eriksen, Mason Mount, or Casemiro. On the offensive line, the radar of the Portuguese midfielder is broken as he rarely locates the spaces that Rasmus Højlund or Marcus Rashford nailed down to make branded serving lines. Bruno even showed his ball wasting in many situations. The Portuguese midfielder had moments of receiving balls in zone 14, and a lot of space appeared, but whether due to perfectionism or lack of confidence due to performance impact, Man United's captain handled too slowly, allowing Brentford time to retreat and seal all loopholes. Bruno is a crucial link in Ten Hag's tactics and framework, but when the Portuguese midfielder shows awkwardness on the field, Man United's attack power significantly decreases. Last week, many significant pages like The Athletic, Manchester Evening News, and Sky Sports described Bruno Fernandes' current state as tired when this star's body language was very negative. The Portuguese midfielder often ran out of breath, needed more ideas, and repeatedly used a formula that was easy to counter when moving closer to the opponent's midfield area. Moreover, we no longer see Bruno Fernandes' thunderous shots from outside the penalty area and his signature acceleration. The Red Devils captain often passes sideways passes back with fewer double-handed disputes than before. Bruno Fernandes' lack of heat makes Man United's midfield lack creativity in confronting Brentford. Despite its meager success rate, they had to push the ball out to expect breakthrough phases. In general, Bruno Fernandes is the name that disappointed in Man United's emotional victory yesterday. Ten Hag also acknowledged the overload of his critical students, including Bruno Fernandes. The schedule is getting longer and longer, with too many players falling into an overloaded state. Many of my colleagues have pointed out and sympathized with that. Although many people complain about this situation, in the end, no one can change anything. Therefore, we understand and accept that this situation still exists. As for the players, they still need help finding a way to adapt to the current context. I can only say that, according to coach Erik ten Hag's words, one can sympathize with the overload that Bruno Fernandes faces. However, a midfielder compared to Kevin De Bruyne and rated higher than Martin Odegaard, showing dull statistics, alarming is very difficult to accept. Forgiveness is almost a luxury for poor performances for a giant collective and media hotspot like Man United. And Bruno Fernandes, Man United's most successful contract after Sir Alex's time, is no exception. But last night's performance was just the last straw for the weary state of Man United's current captain. The emotional victory in Fergie time style has soothed Bruno Fernandes' severe decline in form. To be more explicit, let's continue to look back at the bitter defeat before Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League. The typical ball situation depicts professionalism and Bruno Fernandes' attitude unsuitable for a captain. Specifically, it was a situation where Bruno Fernandes held the ball and passed it to Dalot on the right wing. He was rushing up. Bruno passed incorrectly, but he used hand gestures and shouted to blame Dalot for being too slow to keep up with him. This small action left a deep impression on viewers during those 90 minutes that day. Why does a captain have such actions? A captain must be a role model in professionalism and behavior rather than showing off as a bad-tempered teammate who always grumbles on the field. Looking back at history, Andrea Pirlo once praised the quality of an exemplary captain, Paolo Maldini. Maldini has talent and a steady mentality. He has almost everything. His passion for playing football remained intact at the age of 40. The first day I stepped through the door of Milan, that passion is a mirror, a great source of inspiration for me to pursue throughout my career and life. Maldini taught me how to control myself, how to win, how to lose, how to create, how to sit on the bench, how to overcome difficulties, how to celebrate, how to behave, how to get angry, how to forgive, and how to live with myself. He showed me how to keep silent, make decisions, be indifferent, pay attention, welcome newcomers, and captain and lead teammates. Maldini is always himself and a part of me. He does not see Maldini anymore after he retired, even as a manager, which brings feelings of loss and emptiness. Bruno Fernandes has only some of the aspects mentioned above. Bruno does not have compassion for his colleagues' mistakes. Bruno does not have the habit of keeping silent when needed on the field. Bruno needs a proper way to lead his juniors. Not discussing Bruno Fernandes' professional issues but a struggling team led by a captain who likes to blame others, then Man United's future will continue to be tiring this season. Is the captain's armband also a haunting curse of Man United's star? Remember, Harry Maguire was still an impressive centre-back before taking on this great responsibility. Then, after being promoted to captain, everyone knows what happened. Bruno Fernandes shows us his path will be thorny, just like Harry Maguire. The form and attitude of the Portuguese midfielder is a complex problem. After all, Bruno must soon find himself worthy of the great responsibility as Man United's top star along with the glorious captain's armband worn on his arm. Bruno is the backbone for the overall performance of the Devils. If he cannot regain his peak image, Erik ten Hag's team's performance instability will continue. What do you think about the captain's armband that Bruno Fernandes is wearing? Please leave your comments below. Once again, I am TD Sports. If you find this video interesting, please support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel to update the latest and most exciting sports news of the day. See you again in the following videos.